We're here on a Saturday. Gonna be going from, I don't know what time we started, 10:30ish or so maybe, and it's already 10 after 11. I've stopped and got a donut and a kolache, and I stopped and got gas, and now finally got my first order at Dairy Queen. And it was like $7.75 for an extraordinary long mileage, so I went ahead and took it because we are on the path of growing our AR from 75 to 85, and so far we've dashed 2 different nights and it's gone up 3 points. So anyway, in today's episode we will be talking about our challenge to get from 75 to 85. We will look at our current stats and we'll look at them at the end, and then we will also have a conversation about tips. A lot of questions about tips. People want to know, how do I see my tips before I finish the delivery? And so we'll talk about that too. So stay tuned. It'll be a good show, you know, another ride along, because that's what we do. But first of all, I want to just throw this out there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have an opportunity, if you're watching this, hit play and let it play. It helps me out with the algorithms of YouTube, and the more people let it play to the end, the better chances that YouTube will share it with other people, and we'll get a little bit more traction that way. So I would greatly appreciate that, even if you just did it on your desktop and let it play, or set your phone off to the side if it's not doing anything, just let it play. So that would be awesome. So anyway, I'm gonna grab this order. I'll be right back with you in about 1 second. Alright guys, so we had to wait a couple minutes, which wasn't all that bad, but you know, it is what it is. It's as of, I don't know, I guess Monday and Wednesday nights when I dashed were not bad at all. As far as getting orders and delivering them and so forth. Friday night, horrible. I dashed for 4 hours and got 7 deliveries. Is all I could squeeze out of the system, because it was so freaking backed up. At the places I went, I had to wait a long time, and then the orders that I got were such long deliveries that it took me forever, and they were deliveries where I had to deliver and then turn back around and come back. So if your delivery time is 15 minutes and you have to come back 15 minutes and you waited 10 minutes on an order, it takes you 40 minutes to get the delivery done. And that stacked up on me last night, and I felt frustrated. I mean, I still got like $60 without any cash tips, and just called it a night. The goal on a Friday night, a goal on any night I do is typically $100 for a 6-hour shift. But last night I was just like, not part of my frustration, but I knew that I was going to take a little bit of time because my kid is dog sitting for some people, and so I was going to go take him some food. And I also knew that the order that I was on was way down to the south, the farthest south in this area that I could probably be. And then I had to come all the way back to Bryant, and it was going to take me, you know, 45 minutes easy just to get back up here, order him some food, deliver it to him, and then go back to dashing. And I was only going to dash till till 10 o'clock anyway. So that, and so once I did that, I had about another hour to go. And when I got over there to deliver, or to take him his food, he was like, "You want to sit here in the car and eat with him?" And I was like, "No, because the car, I had spilt water in the passenger seat earlier, so it was all soaked." So I told him, "Look, let's just go to the house. We'll watch a movie, and I'll bring you back later." And so that was it. So last night we ended it with like $60-something. And then I knew I was gonna come today. So the goal today is to get another $50. In reality, I would love to get a lot more than $50. The last time I dashed on a Saturday, I got $80 in about 4 hours. So it was a very good dash in that regard. And yeah, I got $20 an hour. So if anybody's watching and they're a dasher in another area and they're like, "Well, I can get that anytime I walk out the door," I'm like, well, more power to you. I welcome you to this area to try to get better than $20 an hour. Every once in a while I'll get better than $20 an hour, but if I work a long shift, it definitely doesn't stay the whole time. You know the saying is like, every once in a while a blind squirrel finds a nut. Well, every once in a while a dasher can work an hour or two and get $25, $30 an hour, probably off of one decent order. It's like, oh, I got a catering order, or I had somebody give me a $20, $30 tip or some craziness like that. Well, sure, you're gonna have that one off, but consistently, what I found is that, especially in this particular area, dashing has a way of balancing out the orders. Not all your orders are going to be small cash or small tipless orders, and not all your orders are going to be, $100 or whatever. So with that, I think just finding a balance kind of helps people with their mental health as far as that goes, and trying to justify the work. I find that a lot of people that, if you don't want to work, you're not going to work, and you will come up with any excuse you can not to work, and therefore the work, which leads to you getting paid, means that if you don't do the work, you won't get paid. And then they get on Facebook or other people's videos and try to troll them, saying that you aren't doing it right, or you're not, doing something else or whatever. And my firm belief on some of that is that I hear from people, or I see comments on Facebook groups from people that are probably living in their parents' basement, or they're living with some kind of government assistance money coming in, so that they don't need very much money to supplement what they're already getting to go and do whatever they want. And I don't have, if that's all you want, is you just need $80 a week, boom, more power to you. If you need $80 a week and you don't have to, you can just say, you know what, I'm gonna wait till those 4 $20 orders come my way, and I will accept those ones and nothing else. More power to you. I don't live under that, I don't know what you would even call it, but I don't I am not afforded those liberties, right? I have bills to pay, and I have wants and desires that I am going to use DoorDash to meet them. And I can't do them on $80 a week. So I've set my goal at $300 a week, and it could be higher, but I also want to make sure I'm not spending all of my time door dashing. So there's that work-life balance, and I still have a full-time job, but that full-time job doesn't get me everything that I want. So the great thing about DoorDash is that you can set your own schedule. You can work when you want to. You can work it how you want to. My wish is that people that didn't have to work wouldn't troll people who accepted orders to make a living or to meet their own personal goals. There's no real need to get on to social media and treat someone like they're inferior if you only have to accept 4 orders a week to get your goal met. Dude, come on, just go. So for those that are new, I do this door dashing. I've been doing it since January of last year. I started out with my daughter, who needed to make a little extra money, and she wasn't having any luck with it, doing it with her brother and her boyfriend, and they would just get bored and blah blah blah. So I said, let's just do this. Let's go out 3 nights this week, the last week before Christmas break, before she went back to school. And we went out on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and made $287. And I was like, And I was going through this phase where I was looking to make extra money, because the previous summer I had lost one of my only contract job that I had in addition to my full-time job, and both of those paid me quite a bit of money, but losing one of them would mean that I wouldn't have enough money to pay all my bills and do all the other stuff that I wanted to do. So I'd been grappling with that year, figuring out what am I gonna do to make more money, right? And I don't know, DoorDash never really crossed my mind, so we were messing around. We had a neighborhood farmers market, so I became the manager of it. And next thing you know, we couldn't get produce vendors, so I became the produce vendor and went out and found produce and started selling it there and making a little bit of money. Nothing great, but it was a lot of hard work, and it was only on Saturdays, and I wasn't making very much money, right? But anyway, we had fun, and it was a good community experience because I got to talk to a lot of my neighbors and a lot of the vendors, and I scheduled everything and tried to find new vendors and all this fun stuff, right? So it was enjoyable, but it didn't really pay me for what I needed, right? I guess it did, but it was a lot of work for very little money, because I was working 2 or 3, I don't know, I was working 2 or 3 nights a week on the upcoming Saturday event. trying to get everything squared away and do all that fun stuff, and then at the same time try to and then I had to take off on my regular job and go get produce and all this stuff to have it for and then and then you had to figure out, okay, what is my cost on the produce, how much am I going to sell it for, blah blah blah. So all of that fun stuff, right? So anyway, it was just one of those things, and then and then dealing with all the produce that you had left over. So we just had a lot of work involved in that with not a lot of profit. So anyway, so then DoorDash came along. Obviously it's the winter time, so the market wasn't happening either, so I didn't have, it was very seasonable. So anyway, so as soon as my daughter, we did those 3 days and she was going back to college, and I was like, well, there's no reason I can't just do this, right? It doesn't take, well, it takes time, but I can do it on my time. And it wasn't any more time than I wasn't already spending working on the market. So there's that. I hate these people that like to ride my tail. This is the second person I've already pulled over, and I'm about to stop up here to deliver food. So anyway, all right, I'll finish this little story when I get done dropping this food off, because I don't know. Okay, here we go. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. I've just dropped off that food. The order was $7.25, and we got $4.75 as a base pay with a $2.50 tip. So it is a long delivery to get $4.75 with only a $2.50 tip. But that's what happens. I wanted to accept the order because we are working on getting our status back. So anyway, back to my story. So I started doing that and working 2 or 3 days a week and making $300, and then I start I'm able to do all the stuff that I need to do with my personal bills, and I'm like saving up for trips and things like that. So I know that usually I will just find time to do things, or I don't know what I'm talking about. I will just, if I don't have anything going on, then I won't just sit at home and veg in front of the TV. I'll just go out door dashing and stuff. So but so with that said, that first year I was making pretty good income, not pretty good income, but I was doing fairly well, and I don't know how much money I was making. I could go back and look at it, but I'm going out and trying to do the best I can and make $300, $400, $500 in a week, and then come out of there looking good. I think probably the best month, I don't know if I ever broke $2,000 in a month. I can't remember that I did that. I remember seeing 1900s looking through the past, but I don't remember seeing more than that. So anyway, but yeah, so just trial and error and figuring out what works the best for me with my schedule and what I want to do and the flexibility that DoorDash allows. So it's been good. So anyway, so I am going to go look at my stats, and DoorDash has changed the app all around, so now it's harder to get to them when you're dashing. Used to, you could just hit the back button and it'll go back to the home screen. Now it just closes the app, and you have to click a gearbox, and then the gear checkbox that has a menu option that says go back to the home screen, and when you go back to the home screen, then you have to hit a menu button, then you go to ratings. So it's extra steps to get there when anyway, it is what it is. So here's my stats with DoorDash. My acceptance rating is up to 79, so that's one up from yesterday. So that one order knocked the decline off, and we can talk about how AR works. A lot of people don't understand it. The completion rate I have is 99%. My on-time rate is 90. I was gonna look at that Dairy Queen on time. So I'm at 89 on time, 10 that are late. I had to go in and try to exclude some yesterday because they're not doing the best job of self-excluding ones that you can clearly see that you've checked in at the restaurant saying you've arrived, but it takes 11 minutes to pick it up and you were supposed to pick it up in 3 minutes, and they don't exclude those automatically, which they should. But they'll count them as being late. And I'm like, I can't help it that the restaurant is taking 11 minutes to get their order out after the time that I arrived. So any which way, it's very frustrating in that regard that they don't do that. So I go back in and fix it. Anyway, my customer rating recently dropped from 5.0 to 4.99 because someone gave me a 4-star. Deliveries in the last 30 days is 171, and lifetime is at 2874. So and the train is out, so now I've got to wait on this train. So anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting at. DoorDash does have a newer feature out that allows you to collect what they call platinum passes. So it's kind of like if you drop below your platinum status, that they will give you passes for a week to have platinum status for a week. The way you gain them is that you have to keep your platinum status for a whole month in order to gain a pass, and you can only have 3 passes evidently maximum, and then you use them whenever the next time. So what I was saying right before I went on vacation, so in May I took the month off, and we flew to Portugal, had an apartment there for a whole month. I worked my regular job because I work at home anyway, and we just lived outside of Portugal instead of here in Arkansas. So that was an interesting new curve of what we hope to do full time when we give it up in about 3 more years or so. My hope is it's probably going to be maybe 3 or 4 more years. My hope is to get my 15-year-old that's going into the 10th grade settled in college somewhere, wherever he wants to go, and then to be able to sell our house and sell everything and to live on the road. So don't know how that's going to happen, but I suspect and I know that we've already started doing some of this decluttering, and so much so that we just have boxes sitting in our dining area that are stacked up against the wall that are like, I'm feeling the pressure from my significant other to get them out of there. So I don't know, someday we'll get through those boxes and figure out what to do with them, whether we donate or try to sell stuff. And it just so we live in a neighborhood that we can't have yard sales. So we got to figure out how to manage that or make any money off of some of the things that we happen to have. So trying to offload some of that stuff is not easy. But anyway, it is what it is. So, but that's the ultimate goal. So we were trying to do a little trial run there. The only difference between the trial run and what we would like to do in the future is the amount of money we spent on the trial run. Because the amount of money we spent on the trial run, there is no way we could afford to do that in real life. Because, you know, part of it is, guess what? I make money via DoorDash. So here's an order for Little Caesars, 4.3 miles, and it's only $5.25, but we're accepting all of our orders till we get up to 85%. I don't know why. Oh, so anyway, I'm gonna go back to this Platinum Pass. Use a pass to keep your platinum level rewards for 1 week if you don't meet the rewards level requirements. So you gain it if you stay platinum, I think, for 30 days, then you gain a pass. If you stay platinum another 30 days, you gain another pass, and you can gain up to 3. And the way that it works is that when you, let's say like when I went to Portugal, one of the criteria to be platinum is the fact that you have to have 100 deliveries in the last 30 days to achieve platinum status. Well, I had all my other criteria lined up, but that 100 deliveries in 30 days went to 0 because I was gone more than 30 days. And so yeah, it kind of sucked when I came back because I was sitting at gold, and gold status just got me a bunch of, you know, anywhere from $2 to $8 orders. And so I worked a whole month, not a whole month, I worked 2.5 weeks trying to get my platinum status back, to get back to delivering 100 deliveries in 30 days. And it took me 11 dashes. Now some of those were 3 hours, some were 6 hours, 6.5 hours, but still it took me 11 different dashes to get that 100 deliveries. And for me it was a struggle because I didn't get as many orders as what I thought I should have been getting, because when you have platinum status, you just get orders all the time. Now, sometimes you decline those orders. I gotta figure out where the heck I'm going. I think I'm going this way. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so the way that Platinum Pass works is that you accumulate those things, and then when you, let's say you take a vacation and you lose your status because of it, well then you throw in a Platinum Pass and you get Platinum for a week, meaning you get all the best orders and your priority is bumped up there to with all the other Platinum ordered people. And it's your job to take that pass and turn it into you having platinum status without the pass, right? So how you do that, how you accomplish that, is you just have to get out there and work your tail off until you get that delivered, until you get that taken care of. So if I would have had, and that implemented like a few days before I left, so it wasn't available before I left, or I would have used them when I came home. And I don't know if I would have used, I probably would have had to use, well, there's no telling if I would have had to use 2 or 3. Right now, even with Platinum and my work schedule for DoorDash, I'm getting 170 in 30 days, 171. So it might not always come out that I get 100 or 100 in 2 weeks. So, you know, it could have been that I would have used 3 weeks of Platinum, or I could have done it in 2 weeks. But anyway, all right, I am here at Little Caesars. I'm gonna run in, we'll be right back. All right guys, so we have loaded up this food, and okay, I'm trying to figure out where to go, and I got the sneezes. So I tell you what, I'm gonna try to work through these sneezes and get this food delivery. I will catch up with you on the other side. Thanks. All right guys, so we got order number 2 delivered. Whew. Not not a good number so far today. We are sitting at $12.50 in an hour and 17 minutes. So that's like 10 bucks an hour. That order was $5.75. It was $2.75 base pay with a $2.50 tip. So right now my base pay for the day is beating my tip pay for the day, and that's never a good sign. Never a good sign. So let's see if we can turn that around, because that is getting to be ridiculous. Okay. Sorry. Well, so Saturday lunchtime, I started a little early, like 10:30ish. 10, well, not quite 10:30. That was after 10:30. But it doesn't seem to help at all. So it is 12:05, and we gotta figure out where the orders are, because they don't seem to be here. Man. So I don't know. It seems to be like last night, where I was getting, well, last night I was at least getting better orders. My orders last night, they were anywhere from, well, I had, my lowest order was $6.50 plus, but it paid me $10. And it seems like they were like $7.50 to $9.50 or $9.75, that kind of stuff. And but I only got 7 orders through the whole time, through 4 hours. Mainly because of the restaurant and the delivery time. So I didn't have time for more orders, is kind of the gist of it. What I did get were decent orders. It was just like a long time. Today, I got a 7.25 one and a 5.25 one. So, yeah, in an hour, and that's just not gonna cut it. But you know, I don't know, if I go for 4 hours getting $12.50 an hour, well, guess what? I got my $50. We need to bump that up. We need to bump it up considerably. So I'm looking over here, and there is a new Mazda 3. And this just got a new order, which really stinks because I gotta take it. It's a whopping $3.50 for 2.1 miles. So we're gonna accept it because we're on a challenge. And it's the McDonald's right here where I'm at, which also tells me get away from this area. So after I deliver this order, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on pause right now. I'm gonna say I'm arrived at the store because I'm right across the street. But well, I don't know how to get to the pause button anymore. I don't even see a pause button. I don't know where they put it. And I already got a message. Can you get a straw, please? I was like, listen, I haven't even made it in the store yet. Alright. I'm gonna go see what I can do to fulfill the demands and get this order taken care of, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are loaded up with our McDonald's that took us way too long for way too little money. And we're going back to the same apartment complexes that we just left. And I have set the pause button after this delivery, so because I got to get away from this neighborhood. So but that's the way it goes. Hopefully this will move our AR. I kind of doubt it. The numbers aren't in our favor because we don't have, I mean, out of 100 deliveries, I started out with 75 accepts, and not deliveries, out of 100 orders, I accepted 75 of them and declined 25, so therefore we're at 75% acceptance. And then we have to get, and we don't have to, but to stay platinum, you have to stay above 70. So when you get to 75, that means you got 5 declines left in your pocket, right? So I just opted that this week my goal was to go from 75 to 85, and yeah, and we've had 20 deliveries and we've moved up 4. So so you might ask, how does AR work? Basically it just goes on a rolling 100 offers, sorry, not orders, offers, 100 offers. So if they offer you 100 and you turn down 25, that leaves your AR at 75, which is where I was. But the declines are scattered throughout that 100 offers, right? So it just depends on when you get a new offer, it lops the oldest offer off your list. I don't know what, my kid has sent me a text. Alright, I'll have to look at it in a minute. I want to listen to something when I'm coding. The kid wants to listen to an audiobook. Well, I canceled my Audible subscription because I didn't want to pay for it anymore, because I wasn't listening to the books. Well, and then on top of that, I was paying for Amazon Music in addition to that, and Amazon Music started allowing you to have 1 book per. Anyway, All right, I'm gonna deliver this food. We'll have a conversation about AR when I get back. Okay guys, that order was $3.50 with a $2 base with a $1.50 tip. Puts us at a whopping $16 after 1 hour and 38 minutes. Whew. And my dashing is paused till I get back into Bryant and probably get more of the same. So so what I wonder is, go to the home screen, ding, ratings, and my acceptance rate is still at 79, so did not gain anything on my AR. Oh well, it is what it is. All right, AR, so I'll start over for those that try not to get interrupted again while my DoorDashing app tries to reload because it's froze up. Okay, so AR, my AR is at 75, meaning I have declined 25 out of 100 offers, and I have accepted 75, which means I have a 75% acceptance rate. The way it works is that if I get offered another one, and regardless of whether I accept it or decline it, it takes the oldest one and throws it away, right? So now the new offer plus that last one that's still in the 100 are the new 100, right? So if you accept a decline, if you accept a an offer, then your AR could go up or it could stay the same. It just depends on what the one that was falling off is. So if the one falling off was a decline and this is an accept, then your AR goes up by 1%. If you're knocking off an accept, then you're replacing the accept for an accept, and therefore it just, your acceptance rate stays the same. And then at that point, so the same thing works if you decline. So if you decline and you're knocking off an accept, your acceptance rate goes down because you're replacing an accept with a decline. So therefore your decline rate goes down. And if you decline and you knock off a decline, your acceptance rate stays the same. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what it looks like. And I've started this process earlier this week of going from 75 to 85, and I'm still in the middle of that. And this is my 4th day this week, and my AR has jumped from 75 to 79. So we're gonna keep trying. I gotta get to 85 before I stop accepting every single order, because I wanna have a little bit extra wiggle room to keep my platinum status. So that's all there is to it. Even with platinum status on Friday and Saturday, it's still been a poor DoorDash couple of days. Monday and Wednesday were great for me. Got over $100 on both of those days. Wednesday, I got it in about 5 hours and 15 minutes. I just knocked it out on Wednesday. On Monday, I had to work a little overtime, like 6 hours and 20 minutes to get 100. But still, I got 100 both of those days. So today and last night were kind of tough, but we're gonna keep knocking it out because this is what we do. We gotta try to make some money. So, all right, I'm gonna hit pause, call my kid back because he's trying to call me like 3 times, and see what's going on, and we'll catch up with you when we get back into our dashing again next time we accept an order. So see you in a minute. All right guys, we just accepted a new order. Okay, It's $7.25 for a whole hog here in Bryant. I don't know. It was less than 7 miles. I think it was like 3 or 4 miles. So not as bad as some of these other ones anyway. So we really need to be getting 10 plus orders, but that's going to be the story of the last couple days. But we'll take 7 1/4 and go deliver it and get back and try to get another one. I don't know. So I guess my question from you guys, if you're watching this, is there anything else that you would like me to talk about? Leave it in the comments. I'd greatly appreciate it. Comments also help drive the channel to other viewers as well. So if there's anything you have questions about, feel free to drop them in the comments. That would be great. So yeah, we're here at the Whole Hog. We're about to turn in the parking lot anyway. So I want to catch up with you on the other side. All right, guys, back to delivering. We have some barbecue loaded up and headed out. 2.3 miles, 5 minutes. We are going, where are we going? West. Into, looks like Hurricane Lake Estates. Okay, let's see if I can get out of this parking lot without seeing anything. Because I'm wedged in between some big ass vehicles. Alright. It is hot. Hot, 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 hot. It's not as hot as it could be, but it's still hot. It's at 12:50. This one's only a 4-minute delivery, so I don't know how hot it is out there. It's only supposed to be up to 85, but the sun's out today. I don't think it came out yesterday, and it just feels a little hot. But I know it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Alright, so that one dude sits out there every single day selling fishing lures out of his. He's got a little table set up. He sits out there. He's got pants, and I don't know if he had a long sleeve shirt on, but wouldn't doubt it. If you're in the Benton Bryant area, well, and granted this video will not make it out today, but you can pretty much rest assured that anytime during the summertime there's probably someone doing car washes there at the corner of Spring Hill and Highway 5. And there's some dude pushing his bike down the middle lane of the 5-lane road here. That is not where I want to turn. Sorry, people. I want to turn on the next one. Alright. Okay, we're going to get in here and deliver this food and get back out, and we'll catch up with you with the totals. Alright, so we got that delivered. It was $7.25. We're up to $23.25 after 2 hours and 11 minutes and 4 out of 4 offers accepted. So Yeah. We're gonna continue dashing. We're 2+ hours in, and it's 1 o'clock. We're gonna go till 3 o'clock, and we're not even to halfway to $50 yet. Hey, it's a tough go. The last couple days is somewhat discouraging, but we're gonna get out there and get it figured out. I might just go get a haircut after this. I might go get a haircut. My hair is getting way too shaggy and hot for this summer. I really don't think I've had a haircut since before we went to Portugal, and we left in early May, so it is way too long to go without, and way too long literally. Alright. Well, I think I will just skirt my way down out of Bryant and go towards Benton to see if anything happens that way, because I mean, 725 is decent, but it still just kind of puts the hurt on me. So we'll go down this other way and see what we can find. Oh yeah, my first order was down here this morning at 11 o'clock, was a Dairy Queen, but it took me all the way back to Alexander. And it was $7 and something, but it took me 30 minutes or more, 40 minutes to deliver it. Well, it took me 40 minutes from the time I turned DoorDash on to the time that it got delivered, because I didn't get any orders for the first 10-15 minutes. Alright, so we can just chalk it up to being not hot enough to order out. I don't know what the deal is today. It is, I don't know, but maybe there's way too many drivers down here. I just don't know what the deal is today. Maybe there's just not that many people ordering through DoorDash today. It is very crowded out, so it's not that people aren't eating out. It's just that they're not ordering through DoorDash, or I'm not getting the orders. So we're gonna go across the freeway and just try going through the Chili's parking lot and back out to around where McAllister's is, and we're right here where Whataburger and Buffalo Wild Wings and Moe's Southwest Grill. So there's a Subway on this side that I've gotten an order at one time in a year and a half. I wish these people would get out of the fast lane and just drive, or get out of the slow lane so people can get on the freeway, get on the access road at least. So it looks like we got a couple of minutes to drive through the parking lot here, and then we're gonna head back across the freeway and go further into Benton to see if we can get anything down that way. Parking lots are crowded. I can say that. The economy is not hurting. We can say that. Now, whether cash is exchanging hands or people are going more and more in debt, I would say more and more people are going deeper in debt. Hopefully they're paying their credit cards off every month, but I know they're not, just by looking at news articles and stuff, that people are not the national debt, but people's personal debt is increasing year over year, and the interest rates on that amount of money is just mind-boggling how much people pay every month, which is, indicative of the national government, and that the U.S. government now pays the largest line item budget item for the U.S. is not the military, not Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, anything like that. It is interest on the national debt. So we pay more every year in interest than we pay for anything else. Not combined, but any other one item. But the reality is that if we got rid of national debt, oh crapola, that is way backed up. So I just got a 475 order for 4.7 miles to Lost Pizza. The freeway access road is backed up all the way to the overpass. So we're gonna go this back way around to, there's no easy way to get to Lost Pizza. I mean, you could go the freeway and go that way, or you can go this way and go that way, or whatever. You can go this way, that way, and every way, but we're gonna get to Lost Pizza. We're just going back on Highway 5, which it's on Highway 5, so it might have been quicker going the freeway when the freeway access road is not being congested like that, because it's quicker to go down the freeway. But anyway, it's not empty, so we will go this way and set at this light. So any which way you look at it, with my AR predicament of the needle not moving towards the 85, every order I take gets me closer, because it gets me closer to the next one that I decline, that then it will fall off. So at least I can look at it that way. And then the next cycle comes around, I will that any declines that I take in the next cycle back to this window of time, they will all be accepts. that will fall off, because there will not be any declines in this window of probably 30 plus, maybe more, maybe 40 orders in a row, maybe 50 orders in a row to get my AR to go up 10. And I can tell you this, that somewhere a month or so ago, I hit 7 declines in a row one night that just sent me over the top. So, yeah, that happens. I was trying to get one last order before the night was over to hit $100, and I had it, but then I got to Sonic, and Sonic was like, yeah, we don't have that order. So then I had to spend time on a call with support, and then I got 7 orders in a row that were so bad that I declined them all. And then I just turned it off and went home and didn't get the 100 that day. Alright, I'm at Lost Pizza. We're gonna run in and grab this food, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we have the pizza loaded up. Looks like we're going back. I don't know where the heck this is taking me. On the other side of the freeway. Okay. Alright. Not a big deal. Just gotta wait for all these cars getting out here. Hopefully there's no more behind me. Okay, so this one is 2.7 miles, takes 6 minutes, so not that bad as far as getting delivered. It's a low ball order, but one more step towards getting to our 85 AR. So, alright, so this will put us over $25. Yay! So ultimately, we're doing the things that it takes to get the tips. We're to get people to give us extra tips. I guess, is there anything out there that you guys do? If you're a DoorDasher, do you do that get you tips more often than not? So I have 3 things that I always do to try to get tips, and I would say that increases your chances, but I don't know, more and more lately it doesn't seem like I do. Now, I got 2 cash tips the other day, which was nice, but I'm gonna go through these 3 things real quick. I got 3 minutes to do it. So number 1, communicate with the customer, and I'll talk about that later on. So communicate with the customer. I do it 3 times per delivery, and I send 3 memes or 1 meme with each communication. Number 2, put the food in the warming container, right? You can get free pizza bags at most pizza delivery places. If you got to order for a pizza place, then you just ask them, hey, do you have a pizza bag? And they'll tell you, and if they don't, you just go to the next one. Hey, do you have a pizza bag? And I got one of my pizza bags at the place I just picked up from. And I have 2 pizza bags because I ordered one before I knew this little trick, right? DoorDash sent me a container when I started. They also, because I had status for so many days a couple of months ago, they sent out new containers. So I got all kinds of containers. And at some point I bought a catering bag, and it paid for itself within a month or so. So keep the food warm. Number 3 is be prompt, right? Don't dilly-dally, get the food to them as fast as you can. And I would say if you can't, then communicate and they will understand. But those 3 things help with 2 things. One, it increases your chance of getting additional tip. So if you take orders that happen to be small ball orders like $4 down to $2, then your only hope of making any money on those orders is the additional tip, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, the other day I took 3 low orders, and 2 of them paid me additional cash tip. So one was like $4 and something, and they paid me it was $4.50, and they gave me an $8 tip. And the other was I don't remember what the other was, but they gave me a $6 tip. So between the 2 of the 3 no tip orders I got that day, I got $14. So it averages out. It turned out to be not that bad. Now on most of my orders, on all of my orders today, I've gotten tips. Now, have they been worth my while? Probably not. I mean, I got a $2 base pay with a $1.50 tip for $3.50. This one here is going to be $2 with a $2, maybe a $2.50 tip. I don't know. I think it was $4.50 total. And I can pretty much tell you they're not going to give me an additional tip, even though I'm doing the things that I hope for. Now, and I can't say that for 100% certainty, but, and I hate these apartments because you can never tell. Okay. I probably have been to this particular apartment like a dozen times. And if it's the same ones, yeah, they never tip. I think I have to park and walk around. So we will park across the street and go back over there. All right, so there's 2 reasons why you do those extra steps. Is 1, to get extra tips. Number 2, to get, even if they don't leave an extra tip, the possibility that they leave you a rating increases, and that the rating will be a 5.0. So if you do all those things, there's really no reason for them not to give you a 5.0. So anyway, with those things in mind, that's the idea anyway. So hopefully that helps and kind of get you out of the doldrums with ratings and tips. So I'm going to deliver this food. We'll be right back. All right, guys, that was $4.75 with a $2.75 base pay and a $2 tip. So, yeah, this is a tough day right here. We're up to $28, 5 out of 5 orders accepted. All right, we're at $28. I need 23 more in the next hour and a half. Oh my goodness, this is one of the worst outings I've had in a long time. Platinum ain't doing us any favors today. Maybe that should be the title of this episode. Platinum did us no favors today. Alright. Okay, headed on down the road. This is total BS from DoorDash. High paying offer. Your platinum status gave you the opportunity to get this, or priority for this offer. Buffalo Wild Wings, $5. That is not a priority order. $5. It's only 2.1 miles, so we're getting the small orders that are taking a few minutes. So maybe if I can get 3 of them in an hour to get $15 in an hour, but yeesh. We'll see how long it takes Buffalo Wild Wings to get this order ready, because they are notorious for not having things taken care of. But we're here. We're gonna run inside and see what they have, so we'll be right back. All right, guys, shout out to the girl working the delivery counter at B-Dubs for giving me a Mountain Dew. It's very nice of her. It's the first time I've been by the Holiday Inn Express over here. It looks like a ghost town. It looks like it's under quarantine or something. I don't know. It's just dead. There's no truckers parked out here. There's about 3 cars in the parking lot. Alright, so looks like I gotta go back across the freeway to some homes over off of Highway 5? Yes. And I don't know. Nope, I can't make that light. Oh well. It says for 1.4 miles in 4 minutes. So I don't know that I can make it there in 4 minutes, because I'll probably set at this light for 3 of those 4 minutes. But I probably had to wait about 3-4 minutes for the food. That wasn't too bad. Not too bad. So, let's see. Where did I go? I had here we go. I had a couple of things to talk about today. So I got these 2 questions off of a Facebook group that I'm in. So just throwing that out there. If you are if you're at Facebook, follow the Rambling Dasher on Facebook as well. So yeah. So someone writes, this may be a stupid question. I just started door dashing. Is there a way to check if anyone is tipping before I accept the order? And the second one, so two different people, I don't know if it was two different groups or not, but how do I get details of tip before ending the dash? I see people post the massing, whatever that means, but I don't know how to do that. Ending up taking an order where the customer, hold on, we're moving again, where the customer only tipped $1.75, I would have declined if I would have known they paid so little of a tip. And the crazy thing is they added a screenshot and the order was $8.75, so it was a $6 base pay with a $1.75 tip. And I'm just like, what is your deal? And the crazy thing is they had other orders that were like $5 and something. I'm like, so you would have turned down an $8.75 order but accepted a $5 order because they only left a $1.75 tip. This is asinine to me. Anyway, so as the comments duly pointed out, as far as I know, there is no way to see tips until you finish the order. Until you drop off the order and you hit whatever you do to complete the order, right? It does not show you the tip, and they purposely do not show you the tip before the end, because they don't want you basing your acceptance on the tip. Now, if you see a $2 order, you can guarantee yourself that there is no tip, that there's no pre-tip, let's say. There might be a post-tip, but there's no pre-tip. So just keep that in mind. Tipping is one of those things that I get caught up in it. Everybody that works for tips gets caught up in, is it acceptable to tip or not to tip, and all this kind of garbage, you know. And we live in a low pay tipping society that it's understood that you should get a tip for the services you provide, because just because. Anyway, I don't know, it's one of those things. But some people, and especially people that I don't know, it's kind of one of those weird things that you think about it, is like people are more apt to say, I'm not gonna tip because your company should pay you a living wage kind of deal. But they're not, so pay me the tip. You know, I don't know. It's just an odd set of circumstances there. I hate coming into this place because I can never find these addresses. They don't post them very well, and it's probably taken me to the very center. Lot number 17. I'm looking for lot number 17. I mean, there's a woman standing out on her porch holding her phone, and I'm like, is that it? No. So we go from 5 to 48. So somewhere in here, there's got to be some lower numbers. There's a 32. Let's get back on the directions and see if it takes me. Oh my goodness, how many little streets are back up in here? And that is one heck of a big old speed bump. 14. Okay, there, I see a 17. Alright, I'm gonna deliver this food. We'll be right back. All right, so we got that order delivered. Hey, here's another decent order, but guess what? It's 11.2 miles for $9.25. What are you gonna do? It'll put me over 40 bucks. It's only 2 minutes away. So back to that tip conversation. A lot of people say they won't accept a tip, won't accept an order if they know there's no tip, but then they don't see a way of knowing whether there's a tip or not. So in reality with DoorDash, they do not show you whether it has a tip or not until after you deliver the order. So the best you can do is to set yourself a standard for the total delivery, right? Because you see the dollar amount. You see the dollar amount, but you do not see the tip amount. So if you know it's a $2 order, if you know it's a $3 order, a $4 order, if you see that it's a $4 order with 5 or 6 miles, you know that probably the chances of it having a tip are slim to none. If it's 2, 3 or less and it's a $2 order, then you, if anything, you know it's a $2 order, you know it has a 0 tip. Now where DoorDash will get you is when they stack your orders, you won't get paid base pay for both orders. And that's crappy on the behalf of DoorDash. But it is what it is. If you accept it, you accept it. The reality is, at the point that you accept an order, it's 100% your responsibility to deliver those orders and to do anything and everything in your power to entice those customers to give you additional tips over and above the 0 that they already didn't give you, or the 0 they gave you, right? So fingers crossed, if someone leaves a 0 tip on the app, they did it on purpose, and that they will give you a cash tip when you deliver. Now sometimes if you do a bad job for them, then they're just gonna, you know, just like a waiter, they might not leave a tip, you know, or they might leave a very lowball tip, and if you do excellent service, they give you a bigger tip. So, you know, that's the way real tips work. Any place other than DoorDash do we expect a huge tip before we even pick up the order, that we say that we're going to accept the order. And I'm just like, no, that doesn't, tips don't normally work that way. But DoorDashers have been trained to say, well, I'm only going to accept the order if it has a large tip. And I'm like, tips don't work that way traditionally. So it's kind of one of those deals that it's a tough situation with DoorDash, because DoorDash does put the dollar amount of the expected pay on there up front, and at that point you accept it. And what we don't know is, does DoorDash curtail the base pay based upon the tip amount? And we all think they do. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's still your responsibility. I would recommend choose your orders based upon, one, are all your priorities met with the order. So you got to make a list of priorities. Your status within DoorDash, is that important to you? If it is, then accept it to increase your status. What's your delivery goal per order, and what's your delivery goal per for a dollar amount and mileage amount, and sometimes in comparison to those two things. So try to do your best to stick around those. What I do is if I have my status without question, like I'm doing right now, I'm accepting all orders because I'm trying to move from 75 to 85 on my AR. So therefore, I am not going to just make decisions and be picky. Whereas once I hit that 85, I will decline orders that are below $5, unless they have a really low mileage, like less than a mile or two. Or even if it's a $10 order but it's 15 miles delivery, then I will decline it because it's way too far. So anyway, those things, you have to come up with your particular set of rules and guidelines for who you are. But I hope that helps with making those determinations and understanding how to work DoorDash in the future. So appreciate you guys listening, and leave me any comments down below if you have any questions. All right. Yes, I have an order. Oh, by the way, I just got an add-on order for a whopping $3 for Jersey Mike's, which is right around the corner. So we're going to pick up this Lane's chicken real quick, and then we're going to go to Jersey Mike's, and then we're going to go deliver probably our last order of the day. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, so this first one from Jersey Mike's, picked it up. It says 1.5 miles for 4 minutes, and it is right off of Highway 5. The other one is quite a ways. I'm just gonna, he sent me this picture of two dudes waving or whatever, and I'm gonna say, where did you get my picture? Oh well. So at least this dude is making it fun. I try to keep it light and easy going as far as with the customer. Fingers crossed they give you extra tips, and if they don't, they don't. You just go on about your way and cry and moan about how much money you didn't make that day. So yeah. Alright, let's see, 3 minutes away, so let's get down there, deliver this one, and then we're gonna head out on the long delivery for the Lane's chicken fingers. In the meanwhile, I will drink my Buffalo Wild Wings Mountain Dew. Thank you, Buffalo Wild Wings. Alright. So, in entertainment news, we watched Happy Gilmore 2 last night. and I have to say it was hilarious. I don't follow golf at all, but they did have a lot of golfer cameos. Not just cameos, but they played a fairly significant part with lines in the movie. John Daly had a huge role, you know, and he's from Arkansas, so it was kind of funny to see him in there throughout the whole movie. And it was just, you know, funny as all get out with John Daly, because he he just played himself, but as I'm sure did all of the other golfers. But it was pretty funny. So anyway, so yeah, I recommend checking out that flick on Netflix. All right, I'm at this house. We'll be right back. So Jersey Mike's was $3, which had a $2 base pay with a $1 tip. So not the best, but it added on to our $9 order. So, and it was right on the way, I suspect. So we're gonna get directions. We're gonna send this Lane's Chicken person a message saying we're on the way. I don't remember who they are or their name, so we're going to send them a generic on the way and hit directions, and we have to go across the freeway and keep going east. Alright, so it says 9 miles, 14 minutes, so I'm going to give you guys a break, give me a little break, and we will catch you on the other side of that delivery. See you in a minute. Alright guys, that was $9.25. It broke down to be $4.75 with a $4.50 tip. So I don't know, it's been slim today. I don't know if any of the tips have been bigger than the base pay today. It's been that bad. So that puts us at 3 hours and 35 minutes with $45.25. So I have got about 40 minutes, and I'm gonna do my best to get at least one more $5 order and head to the house. So fingers crossed I can get that taken care of, and call it a day, and you know, try to get over 50 bucks. So I knew, well, sorry, I was like, this neighborhood, it smells smoky, and then I saw smoke coming out of a backyard that has a burn pit. So anyway, so I got it set on pause right now, so it's going to take me a good 10-15 minutes to get back into town, and then I hope to get an order that can turn around in a 30-minute window and be back home by 3. So a lot of times that is slim to no chance of happening, but it's what we're shooting for, to get our $50. So I'm gonna go ahead and just hit pause. We'll catch up with you guys when we get back into town, and we're going for $50 today, and we'll see what happens. So we'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, so we have accepted our last order of the day. A whopping $5. And I thought it said 0.9 miles, but I had these sunglasses on because I couldn't see for sure, but I hope it said 0.9 miles. So we're gonna get in there. Asia House is just Asian House is the name of the little. I think it's mainly. Well, I think it's Chinese people. Is whenever I talk to them, they're Chinese, and I know that because they've told me that anyway. So, but yeah, so we're gonna go pick this order up and get it delivered, and then I might just sneak over and see how busy the haircutting place is, and just try to get my hair trimmed off before I go to the house. So anyway, if yeah, I am here, and I am going to catch up with you on the other side of it. All right, we have loaded up the food. Yep, 0.6 miles away, so it's just, where is this? Okay, just down the street, around the corner. And we got the Indy 500 out here going in both directions. Alright, people. Chill out just for a second. Let me get in there. Come on, dude. Fly by there. I'll sneak in behind you. Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna call it a day, and then I am going to check out the haircut place, see how busy it is. I can't remember the person that cut my hair the last time or the time before, so I always forget. So I might call him. Is this one of those places? It's either this house or it's around the corner. It must be around the corner. Right there it is. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so that puts us at $50.25 and 3 hours and 57 minutes. It was $5 with a $2, well, it was $2 base pay, $3 tip. I am going to get out of their driveway and then figure out how I want to end this thing. I'll probably just pull up here so it's not in any person's front of their house. And then, alright, we're gonna accept this one last order, 2.6 miles for $6 for India Cafe, and then we will exit and pause deliveries. How about that? All right, we'll get that last order delivered. Directions. So it's 1 minute away because it's just up here and across the street. So it already says I can mark it arrived at store even though I'm not there. So I just thought I was going to end that. This is what happens when you don't click in dash and you're relatively close to another place. And I was just saying the other day I haven't been to India Cafe in a long time, so this is my first trip to India Cafe in a while. And $6 is $6. It ain't much, but we'll get it knocked out and call it a day, and then we'll do our wrap up at the end there. So yeah, I'm gonna pause and get this order, and we'll catch you on the other side. All right, guys, we are we've got our stuff loaded up. They said it would take about 5 to 7 minutes once I got in there, so that's kind of where we are. And yeah, it is now 3 o'clock. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to get a haircut today because it sounded like they were busy, and the last 2 people who cut my hair there are not there today. So I don't know. I hate breaking in new people every time I go there, but that's what happens. I wish I could go somewhere that I could get the same person over and over that didn't cost, you know, like $50 to get a freaking haircut. All right, so last order, I've already got the pause set on pause orders after this delivery, so we can end the dash and do a recap of the day. We're gonna have somewhere in the neighborhood of $56.25, unless this person sees it in their whatever good graces to add to the tip. So we shall see. Most likely, well, I just don't expect it, because it sounds like a kid's name, but it could be a grown adult. I don't know. Younger people don't tend to tip much more than what they think is an acceptable tip, which might be like 5 to 10%, maybe, if that. Most people don't even do 5 to 10%. You know, so most people don't. And there may be a 5 to 10% on this one, because most likely it's a $2 with a $4 tip is most likely what this particular order is. $2 base pay. It could be $2.50 and $3.50 tip. I don't know, but I kind of be surprised if it was a $2.50 base pay. But anyway, either way, it's gonna work. It put us up over $55 for the day, and we'll be happy with that. We had to work for it today. I think this is our 10th delivery for $55. That's $5.60 average if this is our 10th delivery, and then 4+ hours. So yeah, we got a little bit over $10 an hour. So it was kind of a tough gig in that regard, but it happens. It happens. We'll come back and try to knock it out again on Monday night. But hopefully the rest of this weekend I'm going to chill. I hope this is the right, oh yeah. I don't get too many orders in this neighborhood here. All right, I'm gonna go deliver this and we'll be right back to recap everything. All right guys, that order was delivered. We're gonna sit here and do our little recap. So first I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around. Appreciate you hitting the like button and subscribe. An extra thank you for anybody that watched this to the end. It really helps with the numbers. So today we came up with a total of $56.25 in 4 hours and 21 minutes. We got 10 out of 10 offers accepted, delivered, and this particular offer was $6 and it was $2 base pay with a $4 tip. I'm going to end the dash. It should say pretty much the same thing. So for the week it gave us $305.81 plus some cash tips here and there. But yeah, so click done, click over to our menu, go to ratings, and we will see where we're at. So our acceptance rate has moved up to 80%. So I don't see anything else on that. So 80%, completion rate 99. Our on time has jumped up to 91. Customer rating 499. 180 deliveries in the last 30 days. And our lifetime deliveries does not update until overnight. So it's 2874. So we'll probably be like 2884. So anyway, that's where we are. Making progress, meeting goals, trying to get up there. I forgot what I said for the weekly. Let's go look at earnings. Yeah, only 305.81 total for the week. And if I click on that, I know I had $14 in cash tips, and that might be maybe $2 or $3 extra dollars on top of that. So not the best week overall. It took me Friday to get $60 and a Saturday to get $56. Wednesday I had 87, and that's the day I had $14 in tips. Monday I had $101 in DoorDash orders. But yeah, this is the crazy thing. I look at Monday and I had, it's not gonna tell me, is it? Let me look. Oh, here it is. $49 in base pay, $52 in tips. Tuesday or Wednesday, let's go back to Wednesday, I had $40 in base pay and $47 in cash tips, plus or not cash tip, DoorDash tips, plus I had another $14 in cash tips. So on let's see, on Friday, 26 base pay, 34 in cash tips, and then today we had 27 and 29. So it's tough when you're not getting tips and it's only on, it's like when your tips match the base pay, it's kind of a tough gig. But it is what it is sometimes, and so we're gonna go out there and we met our goal. We had to, I wouldn't say we worked that much more this week, because I did about maybe 4 hours yesterday and 4 hours today, which put us about 2 hours over for the week of what I would normally work to get our 300 goal, and we probably did about 320. So yeah, anyway, all right, I'm gonna shut this down. Thanks for watching the Rambling Dasher. We will catch you another day, so have a good one. Bye.